All right. Hello, hello. My name is Senapol. I'm here with the one and only Sparky.
Yo, what's up, everybody?
And we are here to commentate the second and last match in the NAMT. The losers, grand finals, Hellosun versus Ellis Mitter. The winner of this will be moving on to face Nepogen. And yeah, that's going to be interesting. We're here with the grand finals pool. We skipped warm-up since we were doing some... We had some technical issues, but now we're here. Everything's done. We're going into rolls right now.
Yeah, very exciting matchup between two very, very strong players. We had 64 players enter this tournament not too long ago, and we are now down to the final three. All that is left between these three is to decide what color medal they're going to be walking away with at the end of it all. These two, as you mentioned, the losers bracket grand finals, who is going to be going up against NEP later on today. I think at 1 UTC, barring any last-second delays. It's going to be Hellosun and LS Mitter. And we get the rolls coming out here.
I believe Mitter won the roll by 1 point. So that's really interesting to see. Hopefully that's a sign to come, just showing that this is going to be a nail-biter. I know during finals winners bracket, Hellosun versus Nepogen, definitely the best match so far in the tournament.
200 points.
Tiebreaker. Yeah, 200 point tiebreaker. So I'm hoping this will be the exact same. And yeah, we're going into these protects. Mitter obviously going to be protecting Korjak. That is what he's known for. Like I've said this in the last or in finals. I think Mitter's the best Korjak player in the US, like by far. So definitely going to be playing into his strong suits. Hellosun being one of the best LN players. Most likely going to be opting for those LN protects, though we didn't see that actually last time. So Hellosun is definitely a force to be reckoned with in terms of Rice and anything, basically. And we're actually going to be seeing Chokyu.
Alrighty, so going for
Hybrid 3. So
Hybrid
interesting
3.
to see. Definitely has been doing really, really well in those hybrids.
Yeah, for sure. And definitely not a Rice protect, but maybe just wanting to keep the options open for that lower half of the map pool. It's always very aesthetically pleasing seeing this best of 13 format now, first to 7, going to be moving on to that final match. And it looks like I think it's 2 Mesa going to be banned out here by Hellosun, so Rice 5 not going to be making an appearance in this match.
Yeah, I'm kind of disappointed about that. I really, really like that song, but it is what it is. Now it is time for Mitter's ban. Most likely going to be in that lower half of the pool. Mitter being very strong on LN, however, I think it's really hard to just be able to beat Hellosun, especially in density. I would say, surprisingly, the Hellosun, I would say, is just absolutely insane at density LN, even without the Percy. But definitely one of those options. So we could definitely see one of the hybrids also be banned, since Hellosun is very strong on those. Really, everything in this pool is not easy. It's not a free point. I think both of these players will definitely have to fight just to get a single point on each other.
Yeah, if you drew like a Venn diagram of the skill sets these two players possess, they would basically almost be a perfect circle between the two of them. It's really going to come down to the overall level of comfort, maybe just personal preference as to what they want to go into for the ban, because I mean, with everything being as hard as it is, it's really just which one of these frustrates me the least.
Yeah, and definitely that is a good option to choose if you just don't like a map. And actually we'll be seeing LN3, Myzasterions Amara. So won't be seeing that. That map, definitely understandable. It's a very wild cardy map with kind of all kind of LN patterns. It's definitely a mix of everything that's been put together. But now it is time for the first pick. It looks like Mitter's going to be opting to pick American Idiot. Rice won here.
Alrighty. Going into the immediate banger of this pool, 2000s classic. Funnily enough, probably came out before some of the players in this tournament were born.
I think it came out before all three of these players were born, probably.
Oh dear lord.
I'm pretty sure everyone here is a minor.
God, I remember
at
listening
least
to this on CD when it came out. This is... oh, it's ridiculous. Dating myself a little bit, but...
It is what it is. This is American Idiot. Fitting that it's American Idiot and we're in North America main tournament. But it looks like
US players.
Yep. I mean, we've had some really good Canadian players also show up, but really these top three has been really stacked with Americans. But now here we're seeing these absolutely brutal streams come through. Hellison having a slight advantage, but it's just immediately swapped over.
Yeah, Hellison finding a bit of a break out of the transition of that introduction, taking quite a bit of damage down into that 97% range for just a briefest moment before climbing back up into 98. It's very early on, so gonna be able to recover their accuracy very quickly. And Mitter not too far behind, finding the breaks. This might actually work out to Hellosun's advantage if they're able to build up some combo here, build up their accuracy once again. Back up with that 400 combo cap, and you immediately see that lead starting to trend over to that left ever so slightly, but Mitter able to keep that miss clean back up into the 99% range. Going to be able to stave off Hellosun for the moment now that they're back up over that 400 combo cap as well.
Yeah, Mitter has been able to just consistently hold really, really good accuracy throughout all this. We see Hellosun with a miss, but they've also been getting 200s back to back in these streams, whereas Mitter has been basically assessing these. Having that early miss, it was really bad, but Hellosun hasn't really been able to find a good footing, and we see two more misses come out, a fourth the map left. It is looking very dire for Hellison. Mitter can definitely find a few dirty misses in this later half where streams just go more and more intense, but Hellison's actually going to be the one to find the miss. And we're approaching the end of the map. This lead is actually slightly growing in favor of Mitter, and I believe unless a very, very dirty break happens at this last stream, Mitter should be able to take this first point.
Yeah, I think we're reaching that insurmountable point, and sure enough, Mitter are going to be able to secure their first point on their first pick and make it 0-1 now. One miss and 100 in that entire gauntlet of brutal dump stream. That is ridiculous.
Wow. Mitter was able to also half Hellosun's 200. So very interesting to see. Definitely could be a factor at play in these other Rice maps. I know American Idiot is one of the more harder Rice maps in this map pool, so maybe Mitter is going to opt to play into a slight bit easier maps in the pool. Though definitely gonna trend toward those harder maps, something like Rice 3, maybe Rice 8. I think, yeah, Rice 8. But with that being said, it is now Hellosun's pick, going to most likely stay in this lower half. It's going to be a battle of Rice versus LN here.
Yeah, I gotta love it when that dichotomy starts to develop between two really good players. And it looks like it's going to be...
I think that's Hybrid 4 here.
Hybrid 4, yeah. Traverse. Gotta love when they throw in extra letters.
Love it. It is Dr. Mango's Traverse, so if you've seen any Dr. Mango map, you most likely know how this one is. It's very, very filled to the brim with really awkward releases, just awkward snappings all throughout, also on 1.1 here.
Yeah, and also under that 2-minute mark, so both these players starting off this match with very quick in, very quick out style of charts. Doesn't leave a lot of room for errors, though. We saw during American Idiots, like those couple of drops that Hellosun found immediately started to bolster and cushion this lead that Mitter had built up. So gotta watch out for those in these sorts of situations. It's really going to come down to who can keep their composure, who can keep their combo intact.
Yeah. Though that being said, I would say that these shorter maps have definitely been quite good for stamina. I know some of these maps are very, very stamina draining, so that can come into play, especially those Rice maps. You really have to play the streams for so long But
Yeah, for
we're going
sure.
to start off with these shorter maps, and we're going to start off with Traverse here. Going to be interesting to see how they're going to be able to play these LNs compared to the other maps. I think this is one of the more LN focused hybrids, so will be fun to see. And now starting off on this calm intro, Helleson having a slight lead. This doesn't really mean all too much in the grand scheme of things. This is a fourth though map, or this is a fourth the map though.
Yeah, just a bit of an appetizer for what is to come. Basically, get a chance to build up some free combo, maintain that 99.9% accuracy where those bursts really start to come in. A lot of reverse shields, a lot of really short LNs, and like you were saying, very release oriented, a lot of really interesting staggers. And Hello Song one finding the first drop in the exchange, a full percent down on Mitter right out of the gate here, going to the back half of the chart.
Yeah, that drop is very, very dirty, and we see another one. Mitter is able to hold that combo, but as I'm saying, this Mitter does take a break, but it wasn't as bad as Helleson. We see another one coming out from Helleson, and we're only a third of the map left. Mitter still definitely has a chance to fumble the bag here, but it's definitely going to be quite hard. Only a fourth of the map left. These reverse shields do not stop coming as soon as one comes through. It's just burst after burst. Helleson taking another drop.
Yeah, but you would imagine when it comes to those shield patternings, basically mini jacks. And we were saying in the intro to this match, Mitter much more comfortable on those styles of patterns, and is really coming to a head here as we approach this ending. Halosa not able to really establish a bit of a foothold in that chart, gonna hand Mitter over the first break point in this match. That being said, the ratio not that far apart between these two. It's really just coming down to those 200 counts on this chart.
Yeah, Mitter has been able to slowly decrease their 200 counts throughout this entire match, or throughout the past two maps. We saw in American Idiot Mitter having half the 200 count of Helleson, and here we're seeing very similar story being told. It is now Mitter's pick once again, going to stay in this higher half of the pool. Could go for their protect here, as Life is Piano is definitely a pretty good option. But you could also definitely go for something that you may not feel too comfortable on, since you do have that breakpoint. You have room for error. Could go for something like Rice 4, maybe something like a Rice 3. I think all these Rice maps are kind of... It's very interesting to see how this is going to work out.
Yeah, for sure. And Mitter taking a second to maybe just deliberate as to, or just build up the anticipation as to what the next pick is going to be. And I mean, seeing that hybrid performance, that does maybe potentially open up an avenue for Mitter to go down if they don't want to potentially reveal some of their scores in that Rice pool for what could potentially be a match with NEP later on. But no, it's going to be the protect, like you were alluding to. Rice 7 going to be the pick here. Life is Piano.
Yeah, as you were saying though, it is a good idea for Mitter to try to conceal their maps as much as possible, since NEP is going to be the next target here, and having information I feel is very important for Mitter. If Mitter is able to conceal as much information as possible, it really helps their chances.
Yeah,
but
for sure.
We are going into another decently short map, under 2 minutes right here, 1:38 of 266 core jack. So going to be interesting to see. Mitter very prominent. I believe Mitter has like SS. They'll pass the last map pool's core jack, which was 150 or something, 157 I think.
Yeah, I mean, it's really just a matter of how fast can you go before everything starts to fly off the rails. I think once you increase the BPM, you really start to push the ceiling as to the level of comfort. Core jacks, of course, being a very black and white skill set. You either can do it or you can't, and things can go very wrong very quickly on this pick like this.
Yep, and just starting out, we're already seeing a slight lead for Mitter, but it's not all too much. Helleson is actually able to keep up with these less dense core jacks, but it will really be a tale of this density coming up. And we're actually will see very similar scores from both players, Helleson being the first to drop.
Yeah, like you were saying, once the density started to pick up, it was just a matter. It was not a matter of if, but when the drops were going to come out from Halosa, not able to maintain pace with Mitter for the moment. Another drop coming out here is going to help cushion this lead that Mitter has already built up, still above that 99.96 mark, really sort of just flexing their muscles as to how good they are when it comes to this particular skill set.
Yeah, and we're halfway through. This is looking very, very dire for Mitter. I mean, or for Hellison. We have seen Mitter take misses on these Korjak maps, so there's definitely a chance for Hellison to come back. But Hellison's already taken 2 misses, so it'll be definitely a hard hill to climb. We're also seeing quite a few bad judgments coming through for Hellison. And only a fourth of the map left. Mitter has just been able to continue to really stay at this 99.95. We see for a split second that they drop down, but even then, it's still impressive staying up above the 99.9.
Yeah, that UR bar is nearly perfectly centered, and despite the fact that Halosan has already built up some semblance of combo to try and capitalize, we are already quickly approaching the end of the map, finding a final break, the final nail in the coffin for that pick. 998. This is 84.
Double.
Yo, Mash, wait, hold on. I'm already calling you the wrong name. What? This is. I feel like I find myself saying this literally every single tournament. This is grand finals, right?
Yeah, I mean, honestly,
this is supposed to be hard.
I kind of expected an SS from Mitter, but I did not expect a DDP 998 here. That is just astonishing.
That is disgusting. That is ridiculous. And I mean, if you were to ask Mitter about that performance, it's like, yeah, it's a normal run. Or they'll probably be like, no, that was a bad run. They would have restarted like 5 seconds into the map. That's the standard that these players are at nowadays. It's ridiculous to see how good these people have become.
Honestly. And we do see Hellison's next pick being their Protect. We're going to see a Protect from both players, actually. Won't have that for later in the match. Hybrid 3 coming through.
Yeah, no better time than now to try and maybe potentially reestablish a foothold in this match. Don't want to let it get away from you too soon before it's, next thing you know, it's match point situation, backed against the wall, facing elimination. So no better time than now to try and go into something to try and do a bit of a 180 on the proceedings of this match so far. Mitter currently up 3-0 as it stands, looking very comfortable on this map pool.
Yep, and I do want to add, this map is actually going to be around double from what we've been seeing so far. This is 3 minutes and 14 seconds, so definitely going to be quite a lot of room for error for both these players. So misses don't matter as much as they have before. Though this map being also very, very hard. It is Leon Hybrid at 1.1. So interesting to see. I want to say this map was used in a tournament recently, but I cannot say for sure. I do know the song was used in 7K MWC though.
Yeah, it does sound very familiar, but nevertheless, players are ready. We're going to get into this fourth map of this best of 13. Halosan's Protect coming out here to try and get a point in this match to try and start that comeback. It's got to start sooner rather than later.
Yeah, Hellison only down 1 breakpoint, so there's definitely a high chance for Hellison to be able to come back from this. But focusing more on this map, we're seeing Mitter having a slight lead in this intro, but really, as I said in the last hybrid, these intros don't matter too much since the density just increases so much as soon as the map actually starts. And we're already seeing that right now. Both players continue to hold their SSs, or not SSs, their combos, but still definitely dropping down in accuracy by quite a bit. We see, I believe, Mitter getting a 200 or something worse, and we're actually seeing this lead slightly move in favor of Hellison.
Yeah, that is the closest these two have been so far this match. 99.74, 99.76, 200th of a percent separating both these players as we get through this first quarter of the chart. These bursts are so abrasive to read through, and then the LN starts to come through. One-hand flams, both players handling them very well. Halosan taking just a tiny bit more damage in the exchange, but Mitter's going to be fine in the first break. This is the first lead Halosan has had so far this match. Let's see if they can capitalize and run with it.
There's still a lot of time left in the map, so that miss doesn't really matter all too much since there's a high chance that Hellison is able to miss in the later half since these maps are just so hard. We finally get a slight break in the map, but it's not for long. We go right back into the LNs, and here we will most likely be seeing Hellison's lead slightly increase since that is what they're really good at. But Mid are actually having the advantage even with the miss right now. Hellison just trying their best to continue to hold their combo. And it hopefully will be enough for now.
Yeah, now it really just becomes a matter of Hellison maintaining pace with the accuracy compared to Mitter. It's 500s between the two of them. Mitter with that advantage. If Hellison were to find a drop, you imagine that lead is immediately going to shift back on over. And so far throughout this entire tournament, even when Mitter has a lead, it is very hard pressed to find them giving it up very easily. Still a quarter of the map left to go. Hellison still holding on to the FC, but that lead is shrinking, and Mitter finding another spider break.
Yeah, these breaks have been coming out from Mitter, and Hellison has been able to just continually hold their combo, and that's really good. We finally see another break come out for Mitter, or for Hellison, but Mitter is actually at that combo cap. I think this lead is going to swing over in favor of Mitter just because Hellison got multiple misses in that one section. This map is also closing down, but Mitter taking another break that is not good. The lead instantly swaps over to Hellison, and Hellison really needs to desperately hold their combo as much as possible in this last section.
Yeah, for sure. Despite the fact that there's only a sliver of chart left to go, Hellison is not out of the woods just yet. They need to maintain this combo that they've built up, because the accuracy is on the side of Mitter, and Hellison's going to be finding the break at the very end of the chart. I don't think there's enough time. Another couple of breaks. I think the stamina is starting to come through. The misreads as well. It's 0.2% the advantage, and it was looking very good for Hellison there. But at the very end, unable to hold on, and Mitter takes their second break point in this match to make it 4-0 now.
Hellison's first break was really dirty. I believe they got more than like 3 or 4 breaks in that one section, and that really was, I want to say, the difference. Just being able to Mitter got single digits miss, whereas Hellison taking quite a few more, and that's really been what's been happening throughout the entire match, as well as this 200 count. Mitter has been able to actually have better accuracy even with misses.
Yeah, I think that's just that high pressure situation experience that Mitter has. They've been in scenarios like this before, whether it be in MWC or stuff like Speed of Light. They have had the ability to just kind of hunker down and just push through when it has been needed. Hellison, no stranger to tournaments as well, but when it comes to these final moments, these final stages, not able to hold on just that little bit longer. The composure just not there just yet between these two. And that's really what's making the difference for right now. And it looks like Mitter going to go into critical error. So Rice 6 on the board now.
Interesting to see. This is going to be our tech map. So I'm surprised that Mitter's not going to opt for one of the stream maps. So Hellison has actually been able to prove themselves very competent in terms of speed and streams. Especially in the last match against NEP. Actually was able to take a point or two off of NEP even on that Rice category. And specifically in those streams and speed.
Yeah, for sure. So it'll be interesting to see how this one turns out. Hellison now needing those 2 breakpoints to be taken back, as well as 2 of their own map wins to restore parity. Mitter not out of the woods just yet. Still gotta find 3 more points to secure the victory here, but looking very good to start this match off. See if they can continue this trend, or if Hellison can start the comeback.
Yeah, this map is another decently long one at 3 minutes exact, or 3 minutes and 2 seconds. Definitely quite a high chance for Hellison to be able to take this, and only 2 breakpoints is definitely not insurmountable. Mitter still has to try their best to get as many points as possible and be able to hold their combo. Hellison has been able to really have a higher combo than Mitter, just kind of missing out on the end. But actually, we're going to be seeing the reverse, Hellison being the first to drop instead of Mitter, as we've been seeing the past 2 maps. their accuracy's actually been quite similar even without the miss.
Yeah, only about 3 tenths, and mid are going to find the trade back. Now Hello-san has the opportunity to get to that 400 combo cap first, maybe make a bit of a dent in this lead, but right now the accuracy advantage giving Mitter a bit more of a cushion to work with, despite the fact that that lead is slowly starting to shrink. But oh, another trade between the two of them, and that was maybe just a little bit of a more equal trade between the two of them, about 2 tenths between the two of them as we transition on into the second third of the chart.
That
I
trade
want to say
was
things
very
get calmer, but
no, they definitely don't. They get even more hectic. But I want to say that map or that miss was equal. Though Mitter having the accuracy advantage definitely moves the lead more in favor of Mitter, and we're not really seeing any shifts in this point count at all for either player. But I think unless a miss comes out right now, Mitter will be able to hold onto that lead, and we're actually going to be seeing a miss coming through for Helleson. That lead is ever so increasing. Another one coming at the end of this burst.
yeah, very fast hand streams coming out, transitioning into these jack sections, and this is, I was gonna say Mitter's bread and butter, but finding a miss on the transition, but the damage was done earlier in that section. Mitter able to capitalize and really grow this lead to afford them a bit of a wiggle room, but that second one's gonna start putting a little bit of a damper on things, you would imagine. Hilosa now over that 400 combo cap, quarter of the map still left to go. It's really just a matter of if Hilosa can keep these 200 counts down low, but it seems like they're trying to, dare I say, manipulate their way through some of these sections. A lot of accuracy damage being taken down into that 98% range compared to Mitter's 99.5, and so far that lead remains intact. Last little chart left to go.
This accuracy deficit for Helleson has been really, really brutal on them. Mitter, even with multiple misses, has been able to continually hold this lead, and actually it's been increasing. We're finally getting into this last stream. Neither player letting up at all. No misses coming out, though Helleson has been taking a few 200s, and that's really what's been we're growing the lead in favor of Mitter. Mitter breaking, but it's just not enough.
Yeah, and this has basically been the average deficit between these two. Helloson with that 947k, Mitter with the 960k. That's, I mean, 20,000 points to margin on all these rice charts. Somebody is clearly a lot more comfortable on them than the other, and Mitter makes it 5-0 now.
Only 2 more points left for Mitter. It is Helleson's pick, though. We haven't seen any of those LN maps come out yet, though. Still definitely has a high chance. We did see a warm-up right before this, and Helleson was actually playing quite well on those LNs. So I would expect maybe something like LN2, which is very, very like a timing kill. Maybe LN1, very dense map, or LN4 to come through. LN4 being a very techie-esque LN map.
Yeah, I think it's just one of those, like, pick your poison. What do you go into? Because you know Mitter is no slouch on the LNs. On the other side, you gotta pay some semblance of respect to what they are capable of doing, knowing that your margin for error is a lot slimmer than if you were against somebody else. But maybe just taking a second to deliberate, maybe just calm down a little bit and try and reorient themselves. Very important decision here, because it could very well be their last decision in this tournament if they're not too careful.
Does have the 90-second timer to think about. I genuinely, I mean, you could go for the hybrids, but that hasn't really been working out all too well. Hybrid 3 was very close, so definitely can go for those, but I feel like in this dire situation, you kind of got to go for something that's that you really haven't seen anything from. So I can't see anything other than LN right now. I would say more narrowly LN2, most likely being on the option.
But I mean, you got to keep the options open, and it's going to be
Sphere.
I think that's Sphere. So LN4 going to be coming out here, the more tech-oriented LN chart, like you were describing. So Hellosun is going to dip down into that bottom half, the full bottom half of this map pool. Our first appearance of an LN chart. No more messing around with the hybrids. No more bit of a coin flip between the stylings. Hopefully this proves to be beneficial and Holosun can notch their first point on the board. For Mitter, an opportunity to make this a match point situation and bring it back to your own pick to try and close it out. So a lot on the line here. Very important pick.
Yeah, there's really a lot on the line, especially for Holosun. I mean, no matter what, one of these players or both of these players are going to be getting a prize, but you still definitely want to try getting the biggest prizes possible. And now, starting off, Holosun having actually a deficit, though we're going to be seeing it basically be evened out as soon as more notes come through.
Yeah, these opening exchanges, very non-detrimental when all is said and done. Holosun actually winning out in the exchange about 0.1% in the lead as both players cross that 400 combo cap. Mitter going to be finding a little bit more damage as we transition into this first drop.
Yep, Mitter has actually dropped down from the 99.7 to the 99.6, but so is Holosun. Holosun has been in a slight advantage, most likely because Mitter has been taking a few 200s in every so often, whereas Holosun has been, I guess, been able to decrease as much 200s as possible, and we will be seeing Mitter being the first to drop. But we've been seeing this throughout a lot of different maps in this pool.
Yeah, but unlike some of the other maps in this pool, Holosun does not find the trade back, and Mitter takes another miss to boot. As we begin to get into the second third of the chart, this is the largest lead Holosun has had to work with so far by virtue of still holding on to that FC as well as this 0.4% in accuracy advantage. This is their best position that they've been in so far. We still have half the map to go. Again, one of the longer maps in this pool. These players have been flying through some of these picks. This one, a little bit longer.
Yeah, and we do see Holosun dropping once again, but Mitter dropped earlier on, and actually what we haven't been seeing throughout this entire match has been Holosun having the advantage right now, halfway through the map, so that can definitely change in an instant. But Mitter taking another drop is not going to be helping them right now.
Yeah, the lead has extended to about 0.3% in terms of the accuracy advantage. Holosun has built up quite a bit of a cushion to work with, but like you were saying, not insurmountable by any stretch of the imagination. Mitter's still starting to climb back up, but they do have a couple of misses to work with, but Holosun finding a very bad start to this final quarter. And it does shrink the lead very significantly. It is now 0.2% between two of them, and Mitter finds the trade in return. I was about to say, about to be able to capitalize by virtue of having that 400 combo cap, but now it's Holosun up over that 400 combo cap and able to re-establish the foothold that they had in this chart. There's still about 45 seconds left to go.
Yeah, the accuracy advantage now is in favor of Holosun as it has been, unlike throughout this entire match, and that's really been helping them out throughout this map. Even with the misses, Mitter taking another one, and actually that's a really, really brutal miss. They go down below that 99% mark, and they just keep on coming. Holosun looking very, very strong. Misses still coming out though, so this is not necessarily over, but the map is slowly easing out, and I believe this should be Holosun's first map win.
Able to hold on, avoid the sweep, put the brooms away, winning on ratio, winning on accuracy. I think Holosun has finally found their avenue back into this match. But the question is, has it come too little, too late, as Mitter is now up to pick?
I mean, I feel like these last few Rice maps are definitely going to be interesting to see. Mitter does still have to take 2 more points. I want to say... Oh, I don't know. I feel like all the Rice maps left are very, very equal in footing. Maybe wanting to go for one of the more physical ones. Cold Breath is the one that I'm looking at. Zenethalize is actually going to be the one that is picked. So, interesting to see. This is a Giller Meziat map, so if you do know it, or if you do know the mapper, may know what kind of map this may be. And no, this is not Poor Jack like the one that was in MWC. Just letting you know.
Yeah, a little bit of a different take on the chart. 2.5 minutes. I think the longest Rice chart we've seen so far.
I think the pizza map was a bit longer. I want to say the pizza 69 map was 3 minutes. But still, definitely one of the longer ones in this pool.
Yeah, compared to the opening exchanges between these two.
Yeah, but
nothing above 2 minutes.
Yeah, the first 3 maps were like 2 minutes and below, but yeah. I mean, I do want to say that this map has a lot of break sections. So could see accuracy becoming a big factor here.
Yeah, for sure. Another thing to watch out for, that OD9 gonna be making a bit of a difference. We have seen Hello Sun struggle a little bit with the more densely the denser snaps in some of these maps and taking quite a bit of accuracy damage for it. So with that tighter timing window might come into play on a chart like this. Remains to be seen. This opening, once again, bit of an appetizer for what is to come, as they both stand in that 99.96 mark, inseparable through this introduction.
Yeah, we do see a bit of Korjak, but it's definitely not as hard as we saw in Life is Piano. Neither player really having a big advantage right now. We're now going into these streams, Hello Sun being the first to drop, as we haven't seen. I guess Mitter having this accuracy advantage is very strong.
Yeah, just so much more comfortable on these Rice charts so far, and it has been making quite a bit of a difference. About 0.3%. Hello Sun finding that drop, but relatively clean in the grand scheme of things. And with this map being as long as it is, doesn't really swing the needle too far out of reach just yet, but definitely want to keep the rest of this run as clean as humanly possible, if at all possible. Back half the map coming up here.
These accuracies are actually quite close, only about 1/10 of a percentage. Even with the misses from Hello Sun, Hello Sun has been able to actually help out that accuracy deficit from the start. It is just very hard. Mitter, I believe, still on this V1SS run.
Either V1SS or very close to it. 99.88, the mark that Hello Sun needs to try and reach, or hope that Mitter comes back down to earth to reach them. These streams starting to come out here, gonna be impacting both the players in different varying amounts. Quarter of the chart still left to go, and Mitter finding a massive drop in accuracy and actually falling below that of Hello Sun. Hello Sun now with the combo advantage and the accuracy advantage, and able to take that score lead back. For the briefest moment, there's still a sliver of chart left to go. Not out of the woods just yet. This is still salvageable for Mitter. They need to get back up with that 400 combo cap. Can they pull it back here? And they have. They're back up over. Hello Sun finds a bit of damage now. Mitter finds a miss. The bursts are starting to come out here.
Oh, it just wasn't enough. Mitter found a miss. Mitter found a miss at the end, but was able to hold really good accuracy on that ending stream, whereas Hello Sun, I believe, took multiple 200s there. One miss coming from Hello Sun, that is devastating.
Yeah, you see the distribution of the judgments, and you gotta feel for Hello Sun there. You see that one miss compared to the 3, and you feel like that's okay, job done and dusted, and you see that the score isn't in your favor. That ratio that Mitter is able to claim hold of throughout this match, coming in clutch here at the end, and it is now match point for Mitter.
Hello Sun, it's going to be very hard to come back from this. 3 breakpoints down. Though I feel like these last few maps are very close. We still do have Hello Sun's having LN 1 and 2 open, as well as Hybrid 1 and 2. is going to be opting for, I believe, LN2, the
Yeah.
timing hell-esque map. So going to be interesting to see how this one works. This is like, what is it called? Nerf? Not Kami-sama. I'm trying to think what it's the hardest Quantum Crystal map so far yet.
They're all pretty hard. So,
They are all pretty hard.
but regardless, this is going to be a very release-heavy chart, an opportunity for Holosun to notch a second point on the board. And like you were alluding to, the task of getting those breakpoints back as well. Improbable, not impossible, because there's always a world.
It's definitely not impossible. I do believe in Hella Sun here. Also, I feel like this map is like nerfed Nisemono, but instead of Nisemono having like a bit of a break at the start of the map, this map really just doesn't stop ever.
Interesting to note, and it's another map that's over that 3-minute mark. So those misses, if they do come, not going to be as detrimental as if it were a shorter map. So going to be very interesting to watch. Very explosive match we have found ourselves in so far, and Holosun going to be able to hold on to about 0.1% in terms of an advantage through this introduction. Both players very healthily over that 400 combo cap now.
Yeah, Mid are taking a bit of an accuracy deficit, but so is Holosun. These accuracies have actually been stabilizing quite a bit right now. We still have quite a bit of the map left. Only a fourth has gone through. Both players trading 200s every so often. No one really having a very big lead.
Yeah, this one's teetering on a bit of a knife's edge as we continue on into the second quarter of the chart. The accuracies are within 0.1%. Holosun with the very tiniest of leads for the moment, starting to grow a little bit, but they find the break, and Mitter trades it back.
Traded.
And overall, they're even as it stands.
Right, as soon as Holosun's breaks, Mitters just is right back. And we've been really seeing this every so often in these maps. We do see a slight lead right now for Mitter, or not Mitter, for Holosun. So I think this is so small. Anything could just move it over. And we're halfway through the map right now. There's still definitely a time for both these players to take breaks.
Yeah, we start to see more 200s coming out from both of these players, just trading them back and forth. Mitter taking a little bit more damage in the exchanges, down into that 99.3 range. Holosun still standing strong above that 99.4 mark, but not by a lot here. It's starting to close up. It's starting to even out just a little bit, and you can basically put a postage stamp between the two of them until Mitter finds the slider break going into the last third of the chart. Gonna give Holosun a bit more of a cushion to work with. Can they take advantage? They're still holding on to their combo, crossing that 2,000 mark. This is the largest lead that we have seen between these two players on this chart so far.
Yeah, this accuracy lead for Holosun is also quite big, about 0.2%. Also one of the largest that we've been seeing. We finally get a break right now, and we can see Holosun having quite a big lead, about by 6k. But even that, it can definitely be swayed in an instant, as we have seen on some of these maps. A brutal miss, very, very brutal or dirty miss coming through for Holosun. It could be the end. And don't forget, this is match point. If Mitter is able to take this point, they will be moving on immediately. So Holosun really definitely needs to be able to hold on to their combo and accuracy as much as possible.
Yeah, tournament life on the line. And it's still at 0.2%. And Mitter going to be finding another drop here. Going to be giving a bit of a reprieve for Holosun as they find the trade back here. But it is still advantage Holosun for the moment. Mitter is actually going to be finding more of the drops. The density picking up here. And it's really putting a damper on their score for right now. And as it stands, Holosun going to be able to stay alive for at least one map longer and make it 6-2 and potentially give themselves an outside shot at staying alive in this tournament.
They do have an out. Only 4 maps needed to win. That is still, I believe, 3 breakpoints. So it's going to be a very, very tough hill to climb. But I think it's possible. There are still I believe there are still 3 rice maps. However, I think all those rice maps are actually quite close. Helson's very good at uh like what is it called? Is very good at speed and I guess stamina-esque maps. And I feel like that's really what's left.
And it looks like Mitter is going to go into Cold Breath. Rice 2 coming out here. An opportunity to put a nice little bow on proceedings here.
Here we go. One of the longest maps in the pool. 3 minutes, 57 seconds, almost 4 minutes, and it's just brutal.
Yeah, it's almost 4 minutes and it's already on a 1.4x rate. That is absurd when it comes to charts like this.
This is 271 BPM streams. I believe this is a hand stream-esque. So, you do want to... I think most players understand how hard hand stream is. So, if you want to have a, I guess, like, in your head idea of how hard this map is. So imagine playing, I don't know, like Wheel of Llamas, but at 270 BPM, like 1.4, 1.3.
That's too
Something
high.
like that. Yeah, that's too high.
Players.
These players have to play.
Yeah, the things we put these players through sometimes is ridiculous, but that is the bar that they set for themselves, and each and every time they clear it with relative ease. But for right now, a bit of a stamina gauntlet for both of them as we begin this chart. It's going to be very interesting to see the accuracies begin to even out as Mitter takes a very early advantage here. Hello Sun not transitioning into this hand stream as comfortably. A lot of 200s coming out from them as they drop down into that 98% mark, and can't let it get too far away too soon because you don't want this to be insurmountable. But Hello Sun going to be finding the first break here.
Yeah, but Mitter has been able to really comfortably play this map, actually. Having the 99.98, we get a slight break right here. Hello Sun having the disadvantage in a better percentage. It's very hard to come back from that. There's still 3/4 of the map left, so there's still a chance.
There is still a chance, but when it comes to BPMs like this, it's kind of like with the core jack situation. You start to push the ceiling of what players are comfortable doing, and if you can't handle the BPM, this is going to be one hell of a ride. And right now, Hello Sun not able to establish themselves in terms of combo. Mitter does finally find the trade back, but it is just a drop in the ocean of the gulf of accuracy discrepancy between these two players. A full percent still between the two of them. And Hello Sun finds yet another break going into the second third of this chart.
Yeah, this accuracy disadvantage for Hello Sun has really been the tail of this entire match. Halfway through the map, neither player, or Mitter, isn't really letting up. Having those 2 breaks, I believe. But even then, this accuracy from Mitter is just absolutely insane. Hello Sun trying their best to keep up. We see another miss from both of them. But even then, Hello Sun finding a bunch of 200s in every single one of these streams.
Yeah, it's always interesting pointing out the misses, but it's everything that happens in between the misses that has been doing the bulk of the damage for both of these players respectively. Right now, Hello Sun, as it has been on all these Rice charts, just finding the 200 rushes every so often to really put a damper on their overall score. Right now it is 1.5%. Mitter knew what they were getting themselves into when they picked this. They knew that they had the overall comfort and these high BPM late game maps, and it's really coming to a head here. 99.6 and climbing for Mitter, 98.4 and falling for Hello Sun as we continue on. A quarter of the chart still left to go, but I feel the damage might have already been done through that introduction. Mitter finding the next break here, but again, it is but a blip on what has been a very stellar performance from them so far.
Here we go, last 1/8 of the map left. Mitter having this advantage, as we have been seeing. This is going to be very hard to lose. Hello Sun I think if multiple misses come out in this last section and Hellison is able to FC, I think there's a chance, but that is so unlikely. I believe this should just go 2 minutes. Sliver the map left. We see another break coming through, but it's just not enough. Hellison has been breaking every so often just throughout this entire map. That's really been the difference.
That has been the difference, and as this chart comes to an end, Mitter is going to stake their claim. A basically losers bracket run for the ages, and they set themselves up with a 1v1 against the defending North American Mania Tournament champion. It will be Mitter going up against Nepigen in just a couple of hours at the expense of Holosun, who has done absolutely fantastic to make it this far, going to finish this tournament on the third step of the podium.
Yeah, Holosun has definitely been playing super well throughout this entire tournament. Definitely someone that most people didn't really know at the start but I think they've really been making themselves known quite a bit, especially just throughout all of this.
For sure.
Congratulations to Mitter for getting a chance in the grand finals, winners grand finals.
Yep, top 2 secured, and like you were saying, Holosun really basically planting the flag, stamping their authority on this tournament, and making a name for themselves, putting themselves on the map of some of the best in North America. But with that being said, that will do it for us for the moment. We will be back at 1 UTC, barring any last-second delays, for that final match of the North American Mania Tournament. It will be Nepigen from the winner's bracket going against Mitter from the loser's bracket. Until then, we'll catch you guys later.
Goodbye!